Happy Monday. It's the 2nd of December. We are in the final month of the decade. Crazy when you think about it. It's crazy. But that being said, patience. We have all got a bunch of time left, no matter if you're 65, 70 years old, no matter if you're 15. I don't know why you'd be 15 watching this, but if you are, we all got a bunch of time left. So let's be patient and, be happy. That's the main thing. Be happy. So today, frequently asked question every day. We're going to go over some questions. These questions do come from you guys, whether they are sent to us directly when we on a text message or email, or just from people that we talk to on a daily basis, write down their questions, because everyone has a very similar amount of questions, and sometimes you just got to hear it more than once, 2, 3, 4, 5 times to understand it. So let's see today's questions. I'm going to look at them on my phone here. Hope you guys are having a good day. Hope you guys are having a good day, by the way. Okay. FAQ every day. Here are the questions. We have 7 of them. Number 1, what are my responsibilities in the debt settlement program? So this is, Smart Debt Services offers a couple different services. We have a 3-step process that we do with every single client. It makes everything super easy. That first step is something that you could do on your own, or you can do it with one of our representatives on the phone, and that's understanding your cash flow. We created a calculator. That calculator just puts down some of the expenses that you have on a monthly basis into, I think 5 or 6 or 7 different categories, but it also shows you how much money's left over at the end of the month before you make any of these payments to your debts. When I'm talking about your personal loan payments, your unsecured credit card payments. So you can see that if you didn't have this debt, how much money you would actually have on a monthly basis. So once we understand that figure, we then add in your debt payments and we see how much money is actually left over. And a lot of times it's not very much, right? Once we actually have that figure and we can see and have a clear understanding to get you into a plan, we get into that step 2, which is understanding what your debt-free strategy and picking that debt-free strategy, whether that is the ability to qualify for a personal loan, whether that's debt management, debt settlement, whether that's you understanding what the debt snowball method is, the debt avalanche method, finding something that, number 1, you can stay consistent with, you're comfortable with, and you can stick to the plan with. Then that 3rd step is executing. Understanding how this process is going to work, or how whatever debt strategy you pick is going to work, and understanding all the intricacies so you can execute it, okay? So again, going back to this question, what are my responsibilities in the debt settlement program? So this is for someone who goes through that first step and probably doesn't have very much money left over at the end of the month. So debt settlement is a strategy, and it's a program that we offer over here at Smart Debt Services, right? The responsibilities, number 1, when you enroll into that program, understand that monthly deposit, that monthly payment every single month needs to be made into the program, into the process, because we are, as a company, basing everything off that payment because we're using your funds to actually settle your debt. That's how the strategy works, right? So that payment's going to be substantially less than what you're currently making on a monthly basis towards your credit cards and your unsecured debts. It should be, at least, right? So it should be something that is affordable for you. Just make sure you make that payment in on a monthly basis. Also, you'll receive a welcome package from our company, right? In that welcome package, it'll give you the ability to change your contact information over to our back end and to our company, so we receive all the communication from your creditors. But you're also going to receive some communication, especially in the early months of a debt settlement strategy and debt settlement program. We would like you just to fax that or email that in to our customer service departments. Outside of that, you're going to receive phone calls from your creditors. We say that you shouldn't answer those phone calls. Reason being is because they can actually use your words against you in the settlement process. That being said, if you do answer the phone, no big deal. We'll give you some scripts. Literally tell them that we took over your accounts and we put them into the debt settlement strategy. So that's pretty much your responsibilities in the program. It's a program that usually lasts anywhere between 36 to 48 months. You have that fixed payment every single month that goes into your special purpose account that we use to settle those debts over that 36 to 48 month period of time. You fast forward 3 to 4 years, you're completely out of debt. You go back and do that step 1 where you can see your cash flow calculator, right? And now you have no debt payments taking away from your actual income. You live off your own income, save your own money, and work in a better situation financially for you and your family. So Those would be the responsibilities of the debt settlement program. Number 2, why can't you guarantee results? We're still probably on the debt settlement program for this question also. The reason why you can't guarantee results is we can't guarantee that you're actually going to be making that payment every single month into the process, into the program, right? So from a creditor standpoint, we're going to them with lump sum. Sometimes we do settlements where it's spread over 6 months or 12 months or 18 months, things like that. But the majority of the time that we can't guarantee to the creditor that you're going to have the money because we don't know you're going to have the money. So the key here is just to base everything off that payment that you're affording on a monthly basis into the debt settlement program. If you, for some reason, cannot make a payment, always let our customer service know so we actually understand and we can reach out to the creditors and let them know, okay, this is going to be a little delayed. So communication is everything. At the end of the day, if you look at this process, if you were to go online and take a look at debt settlement, the main negatives by it always have to deal with communication. So anytime that you have questions or concerns, you always call to myself or my customer service department. Okay. Let's take a look here. Next question. How do you get paid? This is a debt settlement company again. So we get paid based on the enrolled debt. So like say for instance, you have a $30,000 in credit card debt and you enroll all that into the program. We get paid 25% of that $30,000. Now, the good news is that money actually doesn't come to us until we actually get results. We do not charge any advance or upfront fees. This is huge because now you know a company like us is putting all this effort into actually helping you with the debt settlement strategy will not get paid until we actually provide results on each account. So that first account that goes through, let's just say it's a $1,000 account and we settle it out for $300, meaning you save $700, just throwing a figure out there. 25% of that $1,000 is $250. So the total settlement on that would be $550 if I did the math correct, right? Did I do the math correct? I did. So that's 55% total of that. So you would save yourself $450. We would get paid $250 and the creditor's getting paid $300. So I would assume that's pretty easy to understand. But again, we cannot collect on that fee until we actually provide the results and you pay the creditor at that point. It's pretty easy. Actually, that changed back in 2008, 2009. The Federal Trade Commission actually came in and told debt settlement companies you cannot take upfront fees. It was actually hurting people because they weren't able to save money to actually pay their debts. So this is a very good thing for a client in a financial hardship. So the next thing we have here is, can I do this on my own? 100%. Debt settlement's a strategy. The only real thing that you can't do on your own is probably a personal loan because you're not lending yourself money, right? But you can do debt settlement on your own. You can do the snowball method on your own. You can do debt avalanche on your own. You can call your credit card companies and try to lower interest rates, which is like a debt management program. You can do all these things on your own, and we actually do provide information on that. So if you want that, feel free to text us at 619-332-1019, and we can get you information on how to do it on your own. The reason why most people don't do it on their own is because it's not a very fun process. It's usually something that's being done for you on your side only once in your life, and it should be only done once in your life if you go through this process. But you're dealing with a company, whether it's our company or another company that does it thousands and thousands of times on a monthly basis. We know what we're doing. So that being said, if you want to do it on your own, I have no qualms with that. I actually think that it's something that anyone can try. I really think that, and you can have success with it also if you're self-aware enough to know that, hey, listen, these credit card companies are going to say and do things, and you realize, hey, listen, this is the situation I'm in. I don't have to, you have to have very thick skin because you're going to receive some phone calls. You're going to have to understand and log the actual conversations throughout the process of actually going through the settlement. Yeah. So that being said, you can do it on your own. We do provide the service on our side, so if you want us to do it for you too, we can do that also. Okay. Next question. When is the best time to enroll into a debt settlement program? So these are all debt settlement questions. Actually not. Yeah. Okay. So When is the let's see, when is the best time to enroll into a debt settlement program? There isn't really any best time. So like, it really comes down to you being self-aware enough of knowing, hey, listen, I don't need these credit cards. Making the decision, I don't need these credit cards. You're making the decision, I want to get out of debt. Now you're going to want to choose the strategy. If that strategy is because you're in a financial hardship, debt settlement, the best time to do it is as soon as possible, so you can actually get the process rolling, right? In that whole thing of saving money on a monthly basis with the program, it's going to help you. It's only going to help someone who's in a financial hardship. So you might as well do it as fast as possible. Then you can get out of debt as fast as possible. Start the process sooner so you can get out of it sooner. That's my suggestion. Whether that's doing it on your own or doing it with the company, right? Let's see here. What happens on a consultation call? And this is kind of a broad one because we do talk to people that qualify for personal loans or are in different financial situations, right? So that consultation call is really simple. I actually did a video for this, sent it out to our emails. So if you saw that, it's going to be very similar to what I'm going to say now. We get someone on the phone. The first thing we do, again, is we go through that 3-step process. Number one, understanding the person's cash flow. We want to, whether they do that on their own on our website or we do it with them, we got to understand what is actually available to pay off the debts. We don't want to waste our time and waste their time and say, hey, listen, let's try to get you a loan. Let's try to do this. Let's try to do that. And the reality is that without understanding what that monthly cash flow is, we're sinking that plan right from the start. So let's get on solid ground, understand what the monthly cash flow is, understand who the creditors are, then go to that step 2, which is picking that debt-free strategy, whether that's personal loans, debt management, debt settlement, or other options like the snowball method, like I was saying earlier. So, the consultation call is probably a 5 to 15-minute phone call, depending on the information that you have. We do pull a credit report, which is a soft pull, so it doesn't affect credit. A lot of people in this situation are, of course, probably not care about the credit at that point. But again, we do get some people that have very good credit that are looking to qualify for a personal loan. So we do a soft inquiry. It has no effect on the credits. The next one is my creditors lowered my limit. My creditors lowered my limit to my balances because I missed payments. What should I do? It really all depends on your financial situation. Most credit card companies will lower limits down to balances when they feel that it's a risk, that you are a risk of defaulting. And if you do default, they probably are going to lower your limits down to your balance. And it really all is going to depend on, of course, how long you've had that credit card and that account. What is your payment history before these missed payments? Majority of the time, credit card companies see the writing on the wall, and that's why they start lowering limits down to balances, and that's why they start raising interest rates. And realize you're dealing with compounding interest. Like, credit can be used as a tool if you're not keeping balances on there at high interest. The problem is the majority of people that we talk to, the majority of people that have credit cards are using it just to live life, right? Whether they're overspending, whether they're buying the new things to show off to their friends and family. Like, the reality is it's all kind of deep rooted when it comes to spending habits, but credit can be used as a tool. So I'm not knocking credit, but the reality is the majority of us don't know how to handle credit cards. So when people are, making $4,000 or $5,000 a month, which is a good living in some places, right? But they have $45,000 in credit card debt. The majority of outside of their living expenses, the majority of that is going towards paying interest, and they're unable to afford more than their actual minimum payments, which puts them into a cycle where they're paying on that for the next 20 to 25 years. So, you could call your credit card companies and ask them to, revert back to they probably won't, but just try it, I guess. And personally, I don't like debt. I'm in, when I say I don't like debt, I've in my fair share of debt, right? And I just see that it's not a good way to live. Like, you really have to get into a situation where you're trying to live on your income. And then if you get to a point where you can actually use credit as a tool, you maybe can get 0% cards and 0% things and start using that as a tool to, increase income, increase investment. That being said, that's a long way away for someone who's just struggling with their debt. The first step, of course, is to get out of the debt. So that's going to be the 7 questions for today. Today is, again, the 2nd of December. Happy December. We're almost Christmas. So I hope you guys have a good one. If you have questions, text me at 661-332-1019. Text me your questions. We'll answer them for you on the next episode or one coming up. I know we have another. I think we have like 30 some odd more questions we got to go through that have been submitted. So feel free to submit them. Thank you very much. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.